Welcome, and thank you for your interest in our paper. PocketBot is like a knock on the door, designing a chatbot to support long-distance relationships. My name is Qingxiao Zheng from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and together with my co-authors, Daniela, Yiliu, and Huang, our research focuses on advancing conversational AI and agents to improve interpersonal communication and moderate social interactions. Many couples around the world experience long-distance relationships due to a variety of reasons, from professional opportunities, family obligations, to social lockdowns. Mainstream communication technologies such as video, texting, and phones are common ways supporting couples to stay connected. It has been suggested that most of these communication technologies emphasize on the functionality aspects of the communication. For example, people can use them to talk about information on remote collaboration. However, these technologies are found not sufficient in supporting couples' emotional communication, which is about exchanging information about and to influence each other's emotional states. Chatbots are interactive computer programs that can engage with human users via natural language processing. Recent studies demonstrated that chatbots can not only influence how people exchange information, but also encourage emotion deliveries, such as encouraging people to share personal experience, to self-disclose on sensitive topics, and to elicit human compassion. Thus, we argue that chatbots can be a possible couple technology to support emotional communication. In this work, we set out to design a couple technology that can mediate romantic relationships through a chatbot. We ask, what chatbot features are desirable by long-distance relationship couples for addressing their current challenges? And how do long-distance relationship couples use and perceive the proposed chatbot features to improve their relational practices? Our study is in two phases. In Phase 1, Batch 1, we adopt an interactive design process through conducting need-finding interviews. We interviewed 6 people to bootstrap the chatbot conversation design by asking their experiences and challenges in long-distance relationships. After that, we proposed initial chatbot features addressing 6 components. These are the 6 conversational aspects based on communication framework, and they are verbal affection, deep talk, conflicts, informal talk, humor, and shared to-dos. In Batch 2, we implemented a low-fidelity PocketBot based on Batch 1's result, and then we test and polish the design with another 6 participants. After Batch 2, we've got an improved PocketBot design that is ready to be tested. We implement the interface which runs on Telegram and was built with BotFather. The backend server was written in JavaScript and deployed on Google Apps Script. Through semantic analysis on the interview data from Phase 1, we answer research question 1 by identifying 3 major features to address couples' challenges. First of all, avoidance behaviors were found. Some couples tended to solve disagreements through waiting them out. Meanwhile, some were being very emotional during conflicts, which further damaged their consensus reaching. Therefore, in the first design, we designed a conflict feature where PocketBot can provide signal for one person to know when their partner is upset. We also designed guiding messages for PocketBot to mediate couples' conflict discussion in an unbiased way. Second, participants shared that sweet talk can help them maintain close bonds. But some couples had difficult time conveying humor and affections, and their conversation ended up being very dry and lack of passions. As Chatbot can demonstrate human-like emotions to evoke emotional responses from user, we enable PocketBot to send funny jokes and words of affection to address the problem that couples lack the time and courage to express themselves. Third, both geographical and time zone differences discourage couples from chatting them. They feel difficult to stay in sync mentally and to conduct meaningful talks simply for the reason that they are growing apart. We enable couples to have diverse topics to talk about through a conversational game called 20 Questions. This game is hosted by PocketBot to let couples to develop mutual understanding. Then, in Phase 2, to answer research question 2, we designed a field study followed by exit interviews to explore the user experience of PocketBot during long-distance relationship communication. We recruited 9 couples with an average age of 24 years, average time differences of 7 hours, and average long-distance relationship duration of 1.5 years. Couples were asked to interact with PocketBot in a week for at least 3 days with their partners. During the exit interviews, participants expressed that inviting a chatbot can introduce new ways to resolve disagreements, such as having PocketBot to signal the right moment to apologize during tense conversation. However, we also found that for couples who are good at communicating or have advanced experience in resolving conflicts, they believe that their conflicts may only be supported by having a chatbot play as a relationship counselor to improve their everyday relational practices. Our finding also suggests that couples perceive humor and affection functions useful in situations when they want to add an emotional flavor in the chat, or want to light up the mood when they are getting upset during the chat. However, it is worth knowing that PocketBot cannot cater to all tastes when cultural factors interfere. For example, participant 27, who is a Filipina, shared that English is not her native language, and sometimes she cannot understand some of the jokes, while her husband, who is an American, can understand that. Lastly, PocketBot can encourage couples to talk deeply and help unveil blind spots of couples. It can also allow couples to open hearts to sensitive and unfamiliar questions and bound them by using Q&A to keep conversations going. However, couples prefer personalized questions based on their relationship stages. To some, our work advances applications of communication technologies for mediating human-to-human relationships through using a chatbot. PocketBot elicits insights that help couples better gauge when and how a chatbot can provide emotional support. But certainly, there is no one-size-fits-all design. We concluded that for future improvements, designers can consider design factors such as personality, relational stages, emotional intelligence, and cultural backgrounds into account. Also, PocketBot provided 2 modes, between one user and a chatbot, and between a couple and a chatbot. Participants suggest that a third privacy mode could be enabled that allows users to block the chatbot from eardropping couples' messages. And with that, I thank you for your attention and I'm looking forward to answering your questions.